This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesianicristo.
Hello.
Hola.
Bonjour.
Konnichiwa.
Ni hao.
Ciao.
안녕하세요.
Mabuhay.
Welcome to Washington State.
Explore the sights.
Discover new things. Appreciate the arts, music, and food.
Travel to new places.
Meet the people.
Make new friends.
In other words,
come
home with us.
Come home with us.
This is INCRadio Seattle, Washington.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of our listeners and viewers all around the world. My name is Brother Joshua Weber from the local congregation of Everett here in the sometimes cloudy, today very sunny district of Washington State. I hope you're all doing great on this nice weekend here in Washington State. I know it seems like we're going to have a very nice warm weekend, which is perfect for all of our activities that are upcoming. More on that later. So today we're going to be talking about friendships, specifically long distance friends. And joining us today, we have Sister Flo. So Sister Flo, go ahead and introduce yourself, Paul, and give any shout outs if you have any at this time.
Hello, everyone. I am Sister Flo Guillermo from the local congregation of Vancouver here in the District of Oregon. And I just wanted to send a warm hello to Brother Ramil Rahino there, the district minister, and his family, as well as all the ministers out there in the District of Washington State. And I'm glad to be here and to talk about our friendship. And I don't want to miss this one, so I just wanted to just say a very warm birthday shout out to my sister-in-law, Sister Blessing, on September 6th, coming up this coming week. So that's why we are friends, sister friends, that is. Thank you, Brother Josh.
And thank you, Sister Flo. Also joining us today, we have Sister Aurora. So go ahead and introduce yourself, Paul, and then give any shout outs if you have any.
Hi, I'm Sister Aurora Monica Inez from the locale of Glendale here in the district of LA County. And just want to say hi to everyone, especially all my friends out there in different states, especially those in Hawaii.
Perfect. And also joining us today, we have Sister Blessing herself. So there we go, Sister Blessing. Go ahead and introduce yourself to those who may not know you, and then go ahead and give any shout outs if you have any.
Hello. Aloha to Hawaii friends. I'm Blessing Guillermo from the locale of Olympia from the District of Washington. Shout out to all friends out there all over the world, especially those in Hawaii, because we miss you so much. Growing up in Hawaii has solidified our friendship, and that's what I'm excited to talk about. Thank you, Brother Josh.
All right. And thank you, Sister Blessing. All right. So before we get into our topic today, we have a YouTube question, and that is, how do you stay in touch with your long distance friends? One more time, how do you stay in touch with your long distance friends? We'll go ahead and read those answers here in a moment, but before that, I have a shout out, a few shout outs myself. Special shout out to Brother Chris Valdez. Happy belated birthday, happy advanced birthday. It's going to be on September 6th. Also, happy birthday to Kakora from Marysville. It's her birthday today, actually. So happy birthday to her as well, Paul. All right. So now I know we're all wondering. We're going to go ahead and ask Sister Flo. How did you meet your long distance friends?
Well, actually, as you have heard, that we all came from the beautiful islands of Hawaii, specifically Oahu, even more specifically from the local congregation of Honolulu. And that's where we all met. And we were young Kadivas, and I was the only Binhi of them bunch when we all got together. So I'm the I'm the youngest of our bunch right now, our friendship sisters, and and we've we've grown up so well in each other's lives that uh, later on you'll find out where we ended up being, where we're at right now.
Perfect. All right. So, how long would you say that you've all known each other, Sister Blessing, if you want to answer that one?
I would say forever, right? When uh, when when my family moved to Hawaii, I think Laura's family was also already there, and both of our parents, both of our dads were like head deacons, so we kind of grew up with waiting for our parents, and as we became officers, we got to know each other, and as there were already all these activities going on like volleyball. Those are our my fondest memories of growing up with the volleyball games and all these activities as Kadiwas. Um, so it's so I would say forever, at least 40, 50 years. Oh my goodness. What do you think, Sister Aurora?
Don't mention our age. Yeah, but yeah, since forever, since we were CWS, and even before CWS.
Our
So
children's worship
yeah, we
service.
had all
Wow.
those times we were just waiting for our parents to have meetings. We would be playing in the parking lot, doing all these crazy things, and from there, I think the friendship bond started young, and grew with many other sisters. Because we only had each other back then. So we we were very mischievous at times, but we had so much fun. Especially getting involved with a lot of church activities really helped strengthen our faith. So it's so important to start off the CWS young, getting them involved in the church activities, because it's just helped us to become who we are now. And it developed a lot of our talents, through all these activities, the social development that we had just being with each other, the support system you have growing up together. It made a difference with who we are now as present members of the church. So having friends are such a important part of our life.
Brother Josh, I'm going to add that, I
That's
did
me.
mention, that I was the youngest one of them, and I followed them. They were like my big sisters. And so between our friendship, like then we're like a span of, they say forever. For me, it feels forever too. If I want to be exact, it's like 44 years of friendship with them. And no, to me, it's significant because it tells a lot about how our friendship has grown over the years, even when we've moved away from each other, right? And I feel that having a friendship, even when we parted ways as we grew up and go on with our family, we continued over the years. And not too many people can say you have friendships of over 40 years together.
That's very true. Um, I know Sister Aurora was mentioning, you know, before we were talking about how important friends and friendships are about being mischievous. So I'm wondering, Sister Flo or Sister Blessing. We'll go first with Sister Flo. Do you have a favorite memory of, let's say, like three of you together?
My favorite memory was they were they were the ones that I just followed them all over wherever they were. I followed them. I was like their tail. They took me along with them wherever they went, especially those back then we had what did we call our volleyball games, sports fest then, and that's where I followed them, and even any church activities. So those are my favorite memories of Sister Blessing and Sister Al.
And what about you, Sister Blessing? Do you have a favorite memory?
Um, Well, Hawaii being a tourist area, a lot of people go through Hawaii, whether it's the military or people coming to visit. And the Kadiwas always end up taking a lot of new friends on a lot of tours. So we would all pile in all these cars. And this is before seatbelts were required. So I remember a brother, I think it was Brother Steve Kroll, had this yellow bug, a Volkswagen bug, and he was able to fit like 10 of us in that yellow bug. I mean, so totally illegal now, but then it was fun. And the Lord was definitely watching out for us because there was no accidents. But we enjoyed all these going out, outside of church activities, but going out and socializing with one another and having, good excuse to give tours to other people. And that really helped give the aloha spirit and also solidified our friendship with all these different experiences that we had.
That reminds me of a lot of stories that I've also heard from my own family about being clown card, essentially. It sounds like an interesting time. um, so now I'll ask. So Sister Aurora, actually for all three of you, but I'll have Sister Aurora kind of answer. How often do you guys see each other?
Well, we actually haven't seen like for Blessing and we haven't seen each other for decades. It was just recently, I think, after the pandemic, that this is how important friendship is, because my husband died at the beginning of pandemic, and my friends couldn't come to the funeral because they're all in different places and there's lockdown and whatnot. But they're so precious because they made plans after the pandemic to get together to meet with me so that they can continue to be there to support me. And so we all went to Seattle. We all stayed at Blessing's house, and I mean it was just, I mean, it's so heartfelt, just everyone being together and them still being there to support me. I mean, it's like a lot of tears and whatnot, but that shows how strong our friendship was. Even though, like I said, I haven't seen Blessing for decades, but when we're together, it's as if nothing. We just, as if the years weren't there. It just felt like we were still the same friends. Like we updated each other, of course, with a lot of things, but there was no shyness there. It was just a lot of hugging, tears, laughing, and it was really beautiful, and it was such a blessing from God to have all these friends around me. So that's how important friendship is.
Of course, yeah, and I just so it's so loving to hear, when you're able to just get together, especially after the the passing of your husband. So, but I'm glad, Sister Aurora, that you have such wonderful friends like Sister Flo and Sister Blessing, and all of your other friends that had came for that. So I guess now I can ask Sister Blessing, since they all stayed over at your place, how does it feel, or how did it feel to see each other after being long distance for so long?
Wow, that, like Sister Aurora said, the years just kind of disappeared. We grew up together as teenagers and we got married and life happened. We went our separate ways. And yet when we reconnect, it's like the years weren't there. Those distance didn't happen. It was like we talk and we stay up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning talking like we're still teenagers and just catching up, and even if there were slight differences, it was like, wow, really? And it was always such great spirit. it's so nice to have friends like that, that you know you're always in a safe place. So reconnecting, whether it's over text or Telegram or any kind of social media, Facebook, or not not sponsored, of course, but it was like all these social medias. That's what they're there for. So nowadays, there's no excuse to disconnect from friendships, and it's so nice that when we do get together, in fact, I think we're planning another get together, whether it's in the Philippines or in a different country. We're still planning to get together because even though these social media are great and uh, to to keep connected, there's nothing like in person. So uh, it, it's just so nice that years go by, and you know what? And even though Sister Flo keeps telling us that she's the youngest, none none of us feel our age when we're together. We're the teenagers still talking about this and that, and it just feels so nice to just be yourself and and reconnect with all that love from years gone by.
It's so wonderful to hear. I'm just like being able to sit here and just smile the whole time just because all three of you, your friendship's so beautiful. And I'm like, I have very few friends that I can say that, we do these kind of things, but those are the most important friends, those are the strongest connections that we have. And I think a lot of people tend to forget it's about the quality rather than quantity. And honestly, and it's just so heartwarming to hear the story of the three of you and your guys' friends. It's so nice. So again, thank you, Sister Aurora, Sister Flo, and Sister Blessing for being able to tell us your guys' story. It's so wonderful. So, how often, I know we mentioned, we connect through like social medias, or through, the cell phones, texting. Uh, how often do you guys connect with one another?
I think we connect various times with different friends. So like I know Aurora is one of my go-to persons, like, okay, I have a problem. What do I do about this? Or and then Flo is one of those that I'm like, okay, I think you know what I'm talking about if I tell you about this. And all of them, and even the ones in Hawaii, it's like, okay, we're coming over next week or next month, and when are we gonna get together for something? So we connect at different times. And that is why we do try to plan a get together for all of us to connect. Um, so, so since how many of there in Hawaii? Four, five of them in Hawaii. So whenever any one of us goes to Hawaii, we try to connect with them. And whenever there's a big event and in our lives, we try to invite the others. At least let them know that there's something going on. So various times, various places, but we do try to connect with each other as much as we can.
All right. I know we're coming. I wish that we had more time, but we're coming to the end of our discussion period. But before we do, if I can please get some advice from each one of you, starting with Sister Aurora, what advice do you have for long distance friends?
Are you asking me what advice do I give to my long distance friends, or
Oh,
about having long distance
about
friends?
having long distance friends.
Having long distance friends. Well, it's like you said, it's not so much the quantity, but the quality of friends that you have. And no matter how far they are, you don't feel the distance when there is a lot of love, a lot of trust between you, with all your friends. And friendship is it helps you live longer. Okay, so you need friends because you need someone to talk to, you need someone to cry to, you need someone that cares about you, you need someone that's willing to listen to you, to hug you. And even though they're long distance, just knowing that someone is there that I can reach out to if I'm having trouble, or I need, it's just someone. That's how important friends are. So if you have friends, quality friends, don't let them go. Don't let them go. And you should feel really blessed and be thankful because that's how I feel with all my friends. Love you all.
All right. Now we'll move over to Sister Flo. Go ahead if you have any advice that you'd like to give.
I think Sister Aurora said quite a bit of it, but I think what really bonded the three of us, and there's always that one commonality of friends. But when we met when we were already members of the Church of Christ, and it is the faith that we hold on to that bonds all of us, which help us to stay stronger for each other, especially when we go through hard times. We can share what's going on and not feel like we're alone. It's important to have that faith and the friendship and still continue that throughout the years, and just be kind to each other and be understanding of each other, and always do your best to include each other in whatever we're doing. Like Sister Blessing said, if we're flying home to Hawaii, we tell them we're going home and we want to meet with them. So I think it's just that, just like Sister Al said, if you have great friends, keep them, because honestly, they're very hard to find.
Very beautifully said. I know both Sister Aurora and Sister Flo said amazing and very, touching advice. I don't know, Sister Blessing, do you have anything else that you would want to add?
Just one little thing is that I'm sure everyone has friends that they've grown up with and that they've feel very strong, have wonderful feelings about. And if you've lost touch with them, don't be afraid to reach out. Through all these social medias now, it's easier to find them. But it's amazing that they probably are thinking about you too. So, like Sister Aurora said, we haven't seen each other in decades, even though we've heard about each other through other friends. And when we connected again, it was wonderful. It was like we never had those lost years. So I'm sure somebody out there is waiting for you to reach out to them too.
All right, thank you for that one, Sister Blessing. That is also a very wonderful advice. All right, so unfortunately, we have to wrap up our discussion for today. But before we go, we're going to send off Sister Flo real quick with a quick little goodbye, because she has to go and start prepping for their satellite over in Oregon. So, Sister Flo, if you'd
Yes.
like to give a little bye and a
Yeah.
plug for Oregon.
Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to help INCRadio Seattle. And we're just right down the road, down here in Vancouver, Washington. So anytime. And take care, everyone, and greetings to all of you. And please watch us, INCRadio Oregon. We'll be on at 2:30 p.m. We'll be meeting those who went out to the International Kadima Meet and Greet in Manitoba, Canada. All right. Take care, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, Sister Flo. Thank you for joining us. There we go. All right, so we're going to go into our next segment, which is our CFO in action. But before that, I have a few comments that I'd like to read here. We have a few greetings that we have to catch up on here from Brother Chris Valdez. Thank you so much for the birthday greetings, Paul. And happy advanced birthday to Sister Blessing and Brother John, hashtag Fedway. Here we are from Brother Relly Rivera. Happy Saturday and happy viewing to all the brethren around the world. Greetings from Washington State. Hashtag Everett. From Brother Andrew Wine. Here's a response to our YouTube question. We stay in touch through Telegram and other social media, phone, and inter-district events. Of course, we're not sponsored by Telegram, but yeah, inter-district events, those are a great one. Shout out back again to Sister Flo, who's prepping for Oregon. They're going to be talking about the inter-district event that we just recently had for the Kadiwa, or the youth members of the church. Sister Candace Mel's, we always stay connected through social media, relatives and friends, hashtag Tacoma. And of course, we have from Brother Andrew, Santa Monica. To keep in touch, I occasionally send check-in texts. I also like to comment on their social media posts, hashtag Seattle. And of course, last but not least, we have here from Sister Kate Agbayani. I keep in touch with my friends through a lot of group video chats and texting. So, like Sister Blessing had mentioned, and Sister Aurora, we stay in touch now through a lot of that social media and through all of the other things we have available to us. So use those tools, stay in touch, and also don't forget to reach out to those old friends that you may have lost connection with. And so now we'll go into our CFO in action. So for our past activities, on August 18th, we had our Unity Games. The Kadiwa and Binhi played basketball. And so for the winners for that one, we have Tacoma, Olympia, and Puyallup. For the Buklod basketball, we have Kent and Covington. Those are the winners for that. And for the men's volleyball, we have the local of Bremerton. There we go. For our women's volleyball, the winner is the group of Seattle, Burien, and Renton. So give a round of applause and, go ahead and congratulate those brethren if you see them for those who had played. August 30th, which was just yesterday, we had the District Binhi film showing in Shoreline. Correct, yes. Now for our future activities, we have here on September 1st, it is our district baptism at 6 p.m. in Seattle. On September 1st as well is the Unity Games Golf. It'll be in the Auburn Golf Course at 12:30 p.m. Following that, we have September 2nd, which is our Unity Games softball and tennis and family picnic and outing kind of day over at Shoreview Park at 10 a.m. Oh, I'm getting a correction. There is no district baptism for tomorrow. Yes, and it'll be the district golfing activity in Auburn. Alrighty. And let's see our weather, how that's looking for us here in Everett, at least. Today it is currently 80 degrees. I know yesterday it felt a little bit nicer. But today it's starting to feel a lot more warm than it did yesterday. But looking like throughout the week here, we're going to have a high of 84 on Thursday with lows all the way down to 57 degrees. I know these all sound pretty mild to Sister Aurora. I already see her nodding her head. But to us, it's very warm. Alrighty. So there we go. We have our weather. And thank you again, of course, to Sister Flo. I know she's already getting prepared for Oregon, and to Sister Aurora for joining us. And of course, Sister Blessing for joining us in our discussion today. Very wonderful to hear from all three of you. And with that, we are coming to the conclusion of our show. So don't forget to stay tuned in here on our YouTube channel, which is the INCRadio DZEM 954. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell icon so that way you can stay up to date with not only our satellite, but all the other satellites broadcasted here through YouTube, like Oregon. There we go. And of course, we have the INCradio.org. And with that, we'd like to say our special thank yous and shout outs, of course, to Brother Eduardo Manalo, our Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Manalo, our SEBC President and CFO Coordinator, Brother Ramil Regino, our District Minister, Brother Relly Rivera, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Chris Valdez, our CFO Overseer, Brother Manly Andaya, our Executive Producer, of course, the listeners, and last but not the least, the INC Radio Tech Crew. Thank you all so much, Paul, for your love and support, and none of this would be possible without each and every single one of you. And with that, from INC Radio Seattle, we will see you later.
This is INC Radio, DZEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
You're listening to INC Radio.